Hello, and welcome into the next episode of the Bleed Orange and Blue podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and we're going to get into it. We lost in the Final Four, lost against UConn for the second time this season, but there's been a lot of chatter about why that we just didn't take the game when UConn kept giving us the opportunity to, all of these things out there. I'm going to dive into some different reasons why I think we lost this game, and ultimately, what does that look like for the Illini going into the offseason? All right. And again, welcome in, Bleeders, as we dive into the Final Four recap as the Illini lose this one to UConn in a painful fashion by 9 points, losing 71-62. I'm going to start by diving into kind of our key players in this one, and then we're going to go over the goods and the bads, because there was a lot of good in this game that is not being talked about enough by all the others out there. A lot of people talk about UConn leaving Illinois in this one, and Illinois just didn't take the opportunity to take it over. And while some of that's true, I'm going to dive into why it wasn't UConn that was keeping Illinois in this game, but Illinois themselves. So to start, we're going to hit with Keaton Wagler, 20 points, 7 to 16 from the floor, 2 of 10 from 3, grabbed 8 boards, 2 assists, did have 3 turnovers in this one. He had Illinois' 2 out of 3 assists in this game. That'll definitely be a topic here in just a moment. Now, Tommy had 16 points, grabbed up 7 boards, everything you could want out of Tommy. He did only go 4 of 11 from the field and 2 of 7 from 3, missing some opportunities from 3, especially in that second half where he didn't hit any, when we really could have used some 3-point shooting when he had some solid looks. Andre in this one, 9 points on 4 of 10 shooting. Andre definitely looked a little shaken up with some of the energy of the game or the anxiety of the game. Went 1 of 4 from the line for an 80+% free throw shooter. Did go grab 8 rebounds for us, but definitely looked a little shaky, missing some things around the rim that he normally would hit with no problem in this one. But let's go ahead and dive into some good things that happened in this game. Some things where the Illini did bring it, and that was getting 7 kills in this game defensively. Those who don't know, that's 3 straight possessions with not giving up any points. The Illini had 7 of them in this game. Now, the Illini's defense has not been talked about all season other than to say, what defense? That's what everyone says. But we showed up in this tournament. That defense showed up. The effort, focus, the intensity showed up on that end, and it showed up in this game. Now, Terrace Reed, who was looking like he was going to be the tournament MVP, the Final Four MVP, putting up Wilt Chamberlain-like statistics in the first couple rounds of this tournament. He had 17-11. No denying that. He went 5 of 5 from the line with against the Illini. A 59% free throw shooter, hit him all 5. Caravan only went 1 of 8 in this game, went 6 of 6 from the line. Now, there's one point here. The Illini won the free throw battle. We got to the line more. We didn't get in great foul trouble. Tommy only ended up in foul trouble at the end when we were trying to stop the clock and ended up with 4 fouls. Nobody else had anything close to that. So the Illini won the free throw battle. We won the rebound battle by out-rebounding UConn. We had 12 offensive boards in this game. We held UConn to 34.5% from 2 in this game, with Terrace Reed in there, with all their athletes in there, with them being more athletic and all of those things. The Illini went out and played great inside the arc on defense. Now, where we didn't play great, well, the UConn Huskies hit 12 threes on us. That was a huge differential in this game, while the Illini only hit 6. Now, UConn hasn't been hitting great from 3 for quite some time. The Illini ended up kind of reversing roles with UConn in this one. After, again, playing great 2-point defense, winning the rebound battle, the free throw battle, the foul battle, this is really what lost us this game. The Illini missed 8 shots at the rim. 8 shots on rim. 5 of those go in. And we had about 5 of those bouncing around the rim and touching every bit of the rim, hitting the backboard, all the things, and just not rolling in. Every other ball at any other time would have rolled in, except then. And it happened to us so many times in this game. I would say at least 3 or 4 times from that alone. But the Illini, again, missed 8 shots at the rim. We couldn't make our open threes. Everyone said, oh, well, UConn did a great job of getting out on Illinois shooters and not giving them comfortable shots. They did, but we still had open shots. We still had very good looks in this one, the looks that we wanted in this one, and we just couldn't hit them. And not only that, while we went out and missed our threes, what do the Illini always do so well? They go out and offensive rebound, and that's how we win a lot of games, because we get close to 40% of our rebounds back. Well, the Illini got 12 offensive boards in this one against a solid rebounding UConn team, against Terrace Reed. But we only converted 6 points on those 12 boards, 25%. 25% conversion rate. That's all we were able to get when we averaged close to 16 second chance points a game. We got 6. That right there is the difference of the game. We hit our average of 16 second chance points. We win the game. We make 5 of those missed 8 shots at the rim. We win the game. I mean, and a lot of those missed shots, I mean, we had Andre miss a putback. We had Merck miss a putback. We had Kylan miss a putback right at the rim. And they just bounced out on us. Like they touched everything except the bottom of the net. It was crazy to watch. It was on the end of my seat in those moments. Like, how does that not drop? And as we say in ball don't lie. The ball just fell for UConn in this one. They had some crazy shots that hit every part of the rim in the backboard and still went in. Ball was just going their way in this one. Now, I'm going to dive into what we did individually for our main players in the ending stretch in this one. What the players ultimately didn't do, kind of to get a scope of what happened in those closing minutes. We were still in this game. We still had an opportunity, absolutely, to win this game, even with missing those shots at the rim, with not hitting our threes. Granted, that plays into the end of the game as well here, but again, let's dive in. Keaton, our second team All-American, our freshman of the Big Ten freshman of the year, our everything. Our star. He tried doing too much. Let's be honest about it. And the final 5-16 of this game, he tried doing too much. He tried being a savior. He tried being the star. He tried being the guy that dropped 46 at Purdue. He tried that. He didn't just let the game come to him and make the right read. Not saying every possession he was wrong, but I do feel like he forced it. I forced up a few shots here. So Keaton, in the last 5-16 of the game, went 1 of 4 from 3. Went 2 of 5 from the floor, had 5 points. He hit a 3. It was great. Could have hit a second one, but there was a foul called right before it. He tried recreating that 3 a couple more times. And that was a deep 3 at the top of the key. It just wasn't dropping for him. Keaton looked tired towards the end of this one. He had put so much on his shoulders and on his back, even throughout the tournament, throughout the season. He got more rest in this game than he probably has most all season. And hey, it just wasn't going to drop for him. Really thought he had some opportunities to kick it off to Ben Himmerkaus. Ben had hit a nice 3. I think Ben was in one of his favorite spots a couple times when Keaton ended up shooting that ball. Would have had a good look at it, better than Keaton did. Not going to knock him. He was one of the only guys hitting any shots. So yeah, he had to look to shoot. Wish he would have given Ben an opportunity there. I think Ben would have hit it. Really do. He was very squared up, ready for it. Just to the left of the key there, defender was sagging off, waiting for Keaton to drive. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. We'll never know. But Merck, in the last 4 minutes of this one, went 0-1, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 point, subbed out with 2:31 to go. We definitely needed more out of Merck in this game. He was not hitting his shots. He was not putting pressure around the rim, not making things around the rim. He did bring it defensively. I mean, pass the ball, but defensively, went out and had 3 blocks. That was freaking awesome to see. He showed all of us he can jump over a cell phone. He showed Brad, I can jump a little bit. So that was great to see out of him. It was great effort. He just didn't bring the execution offensively that we really needed in this one. Tommy, last 7 minutes of the game, had 2 points, going 2 of 2 from the line. He missed a layup and missed a 3. He went out and grabbed 3 boards for us. He had 2 fouls. Again, I believe one of those was a stop the clock foul, and 2 turnovers. The last one was in the waning seconds. The game was over, but turnovers and those last 7 minutes really killed us too. Just not being able to have opportunities to convert when our offense was not looking like the number one offensive efficiency team in Kimpom all season. Just really didn't look like it. That focus wasn't there on our shots. We couldn't make anything around the rim, and it was tough to watch. Andre, the last 5 minutes, had 2 points, 2 boards, and an assist. Finally converted an offensive rebound for a putback. Dished us an assist. That's Ben Himmerkaus on an offensive rebound. I believe both boards were offensive rebounds. So he was trying, but he wasn't trying to take over either. And I really think with the double bonus that we were in, the opportunity was to get downhill. I know he hadn't shot well from the free throw line throughout the game, but he was our best free throw shooter on the season. Would have absolutely been saying, Andre, get downhill. Like if we can't get a good look in the first 10 seconds, get Andre the ball, let him set up and get him downhill. That just didn't happen. We didn't see him attack and be aggressive. Thought the Illini were going to try to take advantage of the foul situation much more in late clock in this. Unfortunately, did not. And then I'm going to go ahead and touch on Kylan. I'm going to also talk about some things going on after the game with Kylan. But Kylan did not have anything to put in the box score in the last 8 minutes of this game. Not a shot attempt, not a board, not a steal, not a foul. Had nothing to show. And his effort was there. I think Kylan showed great effort all season. He was a leader all season. He fought for his guys all season, but I don't think mentally he was there. Kylan alluded to a lot of things that were going on really this last week and had been going on in the past, but resurfaced. And that's with Arizona fans coming after him for 2 years ago, 3 years ago, for his actions as a 17 and 18-year-old. I really going to call out Arizona fans because dude was 17, 18 years old. Back off. Let it go. It was 2 years ago. You guys were in the Final Four. You were playing after us. If anything, say, hey, you know what? You didn't do right by us, but way to turn things around for yourself and go help a program win. Like, he wasn't being mature and he was making mistakes. I'm sure I've heard rumors. I'm not going to dive into those rumors, but he had a lot getting thrown at him on social media, all the smack talk from fans. And you could just see how much it was wearing on him. And I feel for him. He was a kid running into some difficult situations and difficult battles. And he came back home and wasn't judged and was loved and was embraced. And that's how you got to be. We love having Kylan back. I would have loved to see him go out with a championship. I would have loved to see him go out at least with a much better game. But I appreciate everything he did. And I think I say that for all Illini fans. He really came out and was a guy that exemplified winning, exemplified an everyday guy. And my hat's off to him for all the progress he has made for himself as a basketball player and as a man. And hats off to our program for being there for him and our fans for being our fans and not being like Arizona, still berating him about crap from years ago, and not being like UConn, who is sitting there flipping off our fans and chanting at them as they're trying to leave the game. Thank you to Illini Nation for being good fans. And I know we are crazy. I know on the internet there's some wild Illini fans out there that say some off stuff, out of pocket stuff. But when it comes down to how we're going to treat you, when it comes, we don't celebrate jeering at you and putting you down because your team lost. We celebrate our team. I mean, that's what it comes down to. So definitely brokenhearted for this whole team because these guys loved each other so much and they loved winning and competing and going after it. And they just fell short in this game. But I'm going to give UConn their credit of playing a good defensive game and hitting some shots. But I'm not going to give them the credit of, you just beat Illinois. You out coached them. You out this. You out that. Was there some out coaching that went on? Sure, but were the Illini just not making their shots in this one? I think that's probably the biggest factor is that we just weren't hitting shots that we would normally hit. If we had, we'd have won, and I think we would have won by double digits. That's just my honest truth there. But we didn't, and we stopped the game short. But we had a phenomenal season. I loved watching this team. I loved watching them to the point where I talked about them all the time, as well as what was going on in football, and decided to make this podcast. So started this mid-season because I loved this team so much and I loved what they brought. I saw their potential and I saw that they just needed focus and togetherness and to be healthy. And they made a great run in which our entire fan base was behind them on. So shout out to Illini Nation for showing up and showing out in Indy. I was hearing all sorts of Orange FC, all you see is Illini fans wherever you go. I mean, UConn fans were getting scared because they felt very alone. Saw a guy posted out there. He's like, everywhere I look, there's Illinois. Everywhere I look, I'm going to be the UConn guy, and I need to find him soon because all I see is Illinois fans. So great job, guys. And again, hats off to Brad. Hats off to our coaching staff, our managers, our administration, and our players for having a great season. Way to get after it. Way to go and get to a point you believed you can make. Now, we didn't get the national championship or to the game like we wanted to, but we definitely are putting up banners. And that means something, especially since it's been 21 years. So hats off to the Illini program for getting things done. Gotta also touch base on some of the emotions after this game. Kylan, obviously, we touched on. Keaton, very upset. You could tell he put a lot on himself in this game, and he was trying to go win it for his team. I mean, he loves winning. He hates losing, but I think he was trying to win it for them more than himself. And that just shows you what Keaton's going to bring to an NBA team. So loves watching Keaton this season. Love seeing what he turned into. I was screaming his praise when he committed. I watched tape on this kid, and I had a good feeling. Obviously, I didn't expect this. I don't think obviously anybody expected it, but love seeing what he brought to our team and the season and made it magical. And hats off to Brad for being a coach that freaking cares. I mean, he loves his players. He broke down and got choked up, and he just showed how much he cares about these guys, like they're his family, like they're his sons. And hats off to him. You can say whatever you want about Brad. He is a great freaking coach. I had a coach like that cared, that we went to back-to-back championship games and lost back-to-back years. And both years he cried. Both years he talked about all the things we accomplished and how much he cared about us and loved us and how proud he was. And that means a lot to a player. So hats off to Brad and him carrying his emotions and showing his players how much he cares. And here it is. We're in the offseason. We're already talking about John Blackwell, and all those rumors of, can the Illini go get John Blackwell in the portal now? So there is no sleep in regards to what's going on with the program. You never know when a guy could go in the portal. You never know we can get a guy from the portal. So we'll be on pins and needles seeing how this roster turns out. Brad said, come back, guys. Let's do it again. Jake Davis, Big Z, even Andre and Mark have all made mentions about next season. And we would love to have all those guys back. I'm very interested to see how this roster fully turns out. Obviously, getting a phenomenal commitment out of Quentin Coleman, who I think is going to be a major factor next season, especially on the offensive side, whether he is more of a combo guard or shooting guard. If he's coming off the bench, if he's a starter, obviously time will tell. I think he's a great talent. I think he reminds us in some aspects of Keaton in ways, but he also has his own game and his own type of dog in him that I've seen in his gameplay. So very excited that we got him. Very excited to see him in orange and blue next year, as well as the rest of the lineup. We have about 86 minutes to replace on this squad and in the rotation next year. So that looks like a couple starters and a main reserve. So ultimately, there's going to be some movement, whether it be some guys into the starting lineup, whether it be guys go to the portal, guys come from the portal, guys come from overseas, whatever the case may be. You never know what these lie. All I know is we have the opportunity to replace or to bring back a lot of guys and not have to replace a lot, whether that be just new roles, whether that be minutes. I think the Illini obviously are going to focus on going out and getting a ball handling guard in this one, whether that be a combo guy like a John Blackwell, whether that be more of a traditional point guard type. I think we need to get that. And I think we need an athletic tweener, whether that be a guy that can play the 4 or 5, that's an athlete and can move pretty mobily to help our perimeter defense, or whether that is a guy that can go out and do some similar things to Ben and be a 3-4 or small ball 5. That'd be phenomenal to replace somebody like that. We are going to have so much more coming. I'm going to finally bring you some football content here soon. Again, going to go over the coaching staff we brought in, as well as some of the transfers and what next season may look like for the football team. And if any movements do happen in the portal or players from overseas come to us, we'll be bringing that to you as well as the analysis of that. So thank you so much, Bleeders, for tuning in. checking out the channel. Please, again, like, share, subscribe, hit the notifications bell. You know what to do, and comment below. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this season. Let's talk about the off season. Let's talk about next season here on the Bleed Orange and Blue podcast.